What's happening, Brighton? The short answer is a lot. The long answer is this podcast. What's Up Brighton is a show dedicated to the community we all love.
Hosted by Roger Burnett, Eric Meldrum, and Coach Mark Howell, this podcast will feature news, issues, and discussions impacting Livingston County and celebrate the people who make our slice of Michigan go and grow. This is What's Up Brighton.
And we are back. What's up, Brighton?
What is up?
We are just watching some of the reels for our October event coming up.
Dude, it's like here.
Right around the corner.
It's literally here.
It's here.
Are you serious?
I just sent the message like we need to get those graphics up downtown.
Yeah.
We need to get those flyers.
So many things.
Last minute details, event planning stuff,
It was really quality timing on Roger's end. Since he's not here, I'm throwing him under the bus to be gone for like 2 weeks before his event. Hey, good job, Roger. Thanks.
We're going to do this in the month of October, and usually all of the planning and things come together like the week or 2 weeks before.
Sure.
And Roger's
naturally,
like, hey guys, I'm going to be out of town.
Yeah.
I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Cool, dude.
Perfect. Awesome. Great idea.
No big deal. But the event's going on. We went out and recorded content. Like
that was fun. I had fun.
That?
I had a great time. It was just we were what? We went to 3 locations. We spent 45 minutes at each one, 30 minutes, whatever. Ate some good pizza. Had some fun. Had way too much fun. Honestly,
way too much pizza.
And I was so full. I was so full.
I don't normally eat like that ever. Like if I'm having a piece of pizza, it's maybe like one slice and then a salad. Because I don't eat a lot of gluten anymore.
Oh, see, if I eat pizza, I normally have like one pizza and then
one pizza. Like I'm freaking housing it. Like,
I
carb day.
I eat a lot of food. I'm always hungry. It's part of the pro and the con of like the surgeries I've had is I'm always hungry because I don't really like keep food. So I'm always hungry and I eat exorbitant amounts of food, which is awesome.
All right, define a lot of food, because my wife and I used to have this dichotomy where I would eat a lot more food.
Okay.
And now I've kind of like trimmed back and she's eating what I would consider my plate.
So a lot of food, for instance, was yesterday I had La Marsa for lunch. Great spot locally.
Yep.
Mediterranean, I ordered 3 full entrees, meat grape leaves, a bag of pita, which I didn't finish the bag of pita, and 2 salads. And I ate
Fatouche?
Yes, fatouche. Yep.
So the large salads. So you had the grape leaves, 2 large. Any chicken on the salads?
No chicken on the salads because one of the meals was like a chicken, deboned chicken or something. One of them was a lamb kebab, and one of them was like a different chicken dish, with like the rice and veggies and all that. So all of those were, and I ate everything except for all of the grape leaves and all of the pita. So like it was.
Whoa. Hold on. You had deboned chicken, like all that meat?
Yes.
And the grape leaves?
Yes.
And the salads?
Yes. And the lamb.
You are lying right now.
I'm not, and I have Shavela to prove it. She watched it come in. It was 2 giant plastic bags worth of food, and they were laughing and like, "Oh my god, like who's this food for?" I'm like, "Me." And they were like, "Wait, like we're like,
okay,
like what?"
I think we need to do a separate episode.
I'll bring Shavela in. We could do like an eat off.
That's what I'm talking about. It's happening. I have to witness this in person because I don't believe you right now.
It's a little bit exorbitant.
So when we eat a La Marsa, we literally get the it's like the kebab, the shish kebab, and what the heck's the other one called? It's the ground beef, like the ground meat. It's on like a stick. Long. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's not shawarma.
It's not shawarma. Shish talk or I don't know. Something like that.
Shish took.
Something like that. We usually get that with rice, grilled vegetables.
Yep.
And fatouche salad.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And split it. And
that's weak.
I was gonna say like that's
like my warm up.
That is an appetizer for Mark. Holy smokes, dude.
Yeah. I normally keep the caged animal within, until I'm like by myself eating, and then I just like it gets a little bit out of control.
No wonder Christina has to make this sourdough at home. I mean,
I know
she can't afford the grocery
I know.
bill. Eating out like this,
right?
What's going on over there? Yeah, we're just growing. We got vegetables growing in our backyard because Mark's eating the whole entire grocery store.
Yeah, it's a problem.
Yeah, but we had a lot of fun making the videos, and
all 3 locations have been awesome, like super helpful. And we weren't able to make it to to Bourbon's yet, but we'll make it there. But
yeah.
I'm trying not to like give too many spoilers. I don't know how much I should or shouldn't say yet.
Oh, well,
okay.
Well, this will come out after we've already announced most of the places.
True.
So no big deal. Cat's not out of the bag. Hannah messaged me this morning. She's like, she's doing the mushroom pizza that they have in the menu, which is awesome. Have you ever had it there before?
I have not.
Mushroom pizza. Got to go try that.
Okay.
So that's going to be on the menu. And I told her, like, Mark and I are going to come make some content. And without even thinking to myself, I think it was like Wednesday or something, we were messaging and said, I'll be buying the next couple of days. And she didn't respond to me until the following day. So she's like, well, I probably can't do today. Could you guys come by tomorrow? Because Saturday is going to be really busy. And I was thinking about it. I was thinking like, okay, it's going to be either Thursday or Friday that I'll go there, and not Saturday, because there's going to be 15,000 people downtown. Yeah. I'm like, I'm not doing that. She goes, yeah, we're going to be pretty busy, so we probably won't have a lot of time to do that. I'm like, yeah, we'll do it next week. Don't even worry about it. Like, we'll be by next week.
We'll fire it up.
Yeah. So we got that on the agenda. But I'm excited, man. Like, it's the great thing that I'm really trying to kind of embrace with this is the fact that so many people are willing to help. And so many things that I do, on a daily basis is trying to get people to not fall out of like contract, not fall out of like, the course that I know they need to pay. So I'm constantly like bumper cars, in real estate. And in this, you probably have a different take on it because you've been doing it longer, but in this, new project, it's like people are just willing to help.
Yeah.
People are just so willing to just volunteer, say, hey, what do you need? Right? What do you need? I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what I've really been kind of taken back by. It's like, so many people are just so passionate about helping others.
Well, and I love when a lot of it is almost everybody, especially in and around our community, they want to get involved. They want to help. Sometimes they just don't know how, right? Because it's almost like if you do the shotgun approach, it's like, oh, well, we need help, and this is what we're trying to do. People are like, well, I don't know how I can make a dent in that. But when you start to frame it a little bit and you're like, hey, this is what we're doing, and then find, that kind of industry, which ours was like, hey, we're doing a food thing with pizza. So like we can approach restaurants and do this. Everybody was just like, oh my gosh, like I can do that. And this is how we can shape it to make an impact. And they're like, each owner that we've talked to along the way, like they're happy to help. And, they're very conscious on like, we're thrilled to help because of the cause, like we want to be involved, and sure, like it's fun promotion for our business or whatever else. But like, we hope we raise a lot of money for the cause. We want to help these people. We want to help Fund a Life. We want to help, people that are walking in our doors that might have loved ones that are facing some of these things that you guys help them with. And It's like, that they're like, let us know what else we can do, and and they're genuine. They're not like, hey, like keep me on the back burner, like keep me involved. Like what else can we be doing? And, and that's just where sometimes, we all get so busy and so like laser focused on what it is that we're doing. And I know that I can too, like, well, this is what I'm comfortable doing. So this is what I've always done. And I'm just going to continue to do that or expand on it in increments. But it's like, continue to think outside the box and involve more people. And you and Roger have really taken the reins on this one and gotten new people involved in the mission that hadn't been otherwise involved. And it's in a super fun way. We're going to be eating food and raising money. And that's awesome.
That was the goal. Right? It was to get more people, eyes on Fund a Life, not from a recipient perspective. Like a lot of people who are dealing with, stuff in their lives that, you guys can help. That awareness is out there, and, want to have that megaphone too, but you can't have that megaphone
right
until you get the megaphone of donors that can actually
100%
support the cause. Right? You guys are taking in more applications, and time and time again when I hear you speak, it's like we have more applications than we do awards to give. That's a problem.
Well, like this, we're just wrapping up a grant cycle, literally 2 days ago, and we awarded $22,000 across 5 grant recipients, and we had 29 applications that they sifted through. And not that all 29 would have been granted something, but if that budget would have been $100,000, you know, how many more people would have been impacted? I don't know. You know, like, and the grant committee, you know, we're only restricted by the amount of money available. And it's like, yes, we all want to hold on to our own money and we're very protective over it because we work so hard. We spend so much time doing it and accruing it. But at the end of the day, like, money comes and goes, and it's such a fluid thing. And it's such a, at the grand scheme of things, like, it just doesn't matter. It's like, and if that's all we can do is just somehow find ways to reach more people that do have the ability to give more so that we can impact more, like, let's freaking go, you know? And hey, this way we're eating some pizza and we're doing that.
Eating pizza, drinking beer. Yeah. So for the whole month of October, I'm excited to see. And like, I've been kind of brewing the competition within. I
noticed you were stoking it a little bit when we were at Label.
Yeah.
Stoking it a little bit. And even Steve, he was like, hey, like, I want to win the pizza competition, but I guarantee we're going to raise the most money. And it was like, ooh, dude, shots fired. He put it out there and he was like, I guarantee it. Well, like, done.
That's the thing that really, like, I've been taking notice is like they're doing more, right? They're already talking to their staff. Like, and I'm kind of in there planting the seed. I'm like, I had a burger before the show here today, and I was talking to one of the bartenders. I'm like, hey, you know, you guys excited for October? You know, whole month of October? She's like, I am. She's like, we are going to sell the most pizza, and like, they already know.
That's crazy.
They already know, right? So if you have a good, like, it's one thing for the owner, be like, oh yeah, come in, like, we have to do all the marketing, right? We have to go out and push the people into the restaurant. But all these restaurants are already like, yeah, we're good. Like, we are going to upsell this, like, cross-sell it. In, like, if you're thinking pizza, here's the one you can get because it actually supports a cause.
Yeah.
Like, so
well, and how cool, like Log Cabin, for instance, like, they took one of their staple pizzas on their menu and said, like, we're just going to dedicate that one to the Fund to Life cause. And it's like, they could have made some off-brand crappy pizza or something and been like, yeah, we'll do this one, you know, so whatever. But they're like, no, we're going to take this one thing that we know we do well and we're going to offer it to our people. Like, yeah, that's so cool.
They already sell a bunch of it.
Yeah.
Which is great.
So they're literally just donating. At that point, it's like they're taking money out of their own pockets. Just be like, sure, we'll be a part of it. Here we go.
So the restaurants are already like figuring out how do I sell the most, right?
Absolutely.
They want to do it. So that's cool. I mean, it's been fun really doing. I'm like, I'm excited for next year. You know, with this, I want to finish this one out strong, but like, think about how much bigger, because there were so many restaurants that we didn't even get to. Right. Or maybe we had a conversation with, but, you know, just with time permitting, we just didn't have all the time to kind of firm up all the plans with everybody that we would have loved to involve in this. And if you're a restaurant owner in the area, it's not that we didn't want to have you participate. It's just we didn't have enough time, right? We were trying to get a fundraiser together, and the people that were already there and, you know, willing to help, we just kind of ran with it. So that was really the inception of it. It was no, you know, hard feelings against anybody. It was that's just where we are. Well, but next year it's open. And
also the event has morphed. Like, as it's gone, like, it started out, we kind of had one vision for it, and now the vision for it is dramatically different. And so, like, understanding how we can kind of keep that flexible next year, I think just the messaging up front changes dramatically with, like, hey, now we have a better idea of how we can include way more people, way more restaurants in their own way, whether they specialize in pizza or not. Like, maybe even like a Mexican place, for instance, which we have a plethora of them, could do like a Mexican pizza, like a different take on it. Like, there's so many different ways we can go about it. It's like, oh man,
I just learned what's that? T-Bones.
Okay.
T-Bones.
They have a Mexican pizza?
Apparently has a good Mexican pizza.
And why would you, like, so when we're putting this event together, why would you even think, like, hey, let's go ask T-Bones if they want to be a part of the Mexican, like, a pizza place? I don't know.
I would have never guessed. I would have never guessed.
And there you go.
There we go. Now we know.
Beautiful.
We just got to get the word out.
Yep.
Yeah. So next year it's going to be bigger, better. I think how we should structure it next year, and this is me just spitballing, like, you know, we have the events going on, you know, this year at 3 locations, and those are kind of private, you know, like, you got to buy tickets to it. You're going to rub shoulders with some folks that you probably would have not rubbed shoulders with. And that's the whole point of it, is to get people into these events, introduced. You know, like, that's the networking aspect of it.
Right.
Let's, you know, buy some pizza, you know, support a great cause. Like, let's get those donors talking, introduced to you. Let's get those people, you know, talking to one another. So that was really the inception of those events. But I think what we should do next year is have an annual celebration of the event. Right. Ooh. So this is the award ceremony.
Now we're talking.
Right. So November comes, like first week in November, we close out the books. We tally up who sold the most pizzas. We get all the donations together. We get the stats that we can go out and share that story. That's the award ceremony. That's the gala. That's the fun time that we can have right before the holidays, with everybody.
Absolutely. Sold.
Boom.
Sold.
Shavela, get on.
There we go. Yep. Shavela, one more thing for you to do.
Yep.
I love it.
There you go. So no, it's been fun, and I'm looking forward to seeing some more of these shorts as they come out. I almost choked.
That was, I would die laughing for several minutes.
I was upset because I'm like, I'm choking. And
you
then
kept
Mark's
claiming that everything was super spicy and you're choking, and I don't know what was happening.
Guys, Mark did not offer to give me the Heimlich maneuver. You wouldn't.
I didn't.
You wouldn't have saved my life, even though you wanted to be a firefighter.
I would have laughed though.
Yeah,
I was like,
you would have called the
I did want to be a firefighter. Yeah.
Are you or a loved one struggling with the effects of stroke? The Oxford Center in Brighton, Michigan offers a cutting-edge alternative stroke treatment that can help stroke victims even years after having a stroke. Our approach combines traditional medicine with evidence-based alternative therapies, including hyperbaric oxygen therapy. This advanced treatment involves breathing pure oxygen in a specialized environment that can stimulate the growth of new blood vessels and promote healing in the brain. We also offer physical therapy, speech therapy, and occupational therapy programs to help patients regain their strength, coordination, and ability to communicate. Time is of the essence when it comes to stroke recovery. Contact the Oxford Center today at 248-486-3636 or visit our website at theoxfordcenter.com to learn more about our alternative stroke treatment options, including hyperbaric oxygen therapy. That's 248-486-3636 or visit theoxfordcenter.com.
What do you think Roger's doing right now?
What is Roger? I don't even know where Roger is.
I think he is in Connecticut.
Why?
A mastermind for real estate investing.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Trying to go out and get some funding, trying to go out and raise some capital for his new ventures.
Got it.
Out there.
Yep.
Or maybe he's just having fun.
Just squirreling.
Just
hopefully he's having fun.
Scrolling around.
I don't know. If I go to Connecticut, hopefully I have some fun out there.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. Well, we got the event coming up. That's a big one for the month of October. And then, I think it's just like this event impacts, we're going to have fun, drink some beers, right? But like this event is impacting people here in our community. And I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit.
Oh dear.
But I wanted you to tell some of these stories, that you are so close with. Every time I hear them, it's just really impactful. Makes me, pull out my wallet and be like, okay, here.
Okay,
right?
fine.
Fine. I know this is really impactful. Like my story, I've told it before. I was 10 years old. My mom passed away, and it took a village. It took our church. It took my aunts. It took everybody to kind of rally around the family, because now you got a single dad with 5 kids who's trying to just make everything work. We were in private school. Like none of that would have happened without recipients. Whether it was time, money, food. And I just know how much of an impact that made in my life. Just keeping the opportunities, and as you say, keeping the hope, going for people. And that was something I never lost sight of, as a kid. So, what do you don't have to touch on like all the stories. Obviously we don't have time for all that, but like, what are some really stories that have touched you over the years?
Well, I think first and foremost too, it's important to recognize like different stories, inspire different groups of people to give or to support or what have you. Right. And so I think when Fund to Life was first founded, the intention was, how do we reach, and the mission reach the people that don't have the same network of support that I was shown, they don't have the ability to raise hundreds of thousands of dollars. They don't have the ability to raise tens of thousands of dollars. Right. And we all know of or have seen, stories of tragedy that happen in social media or locally, and overnight, they have $100,000 in their GoFundMe. And that's amazing, and it's like, and that lends to the giving and the generosity of our community, and I think is awesome. But 99% of our stories are the people who go under the radar with the same exact stories that happen to them, but they're the people who, they might be great people. They might be plugged in this community. They just don't have that network. Maybe they're not on social media. Maybe they don't have Maybe they live in a part of Brighton that isn't, the affluent part. Maybe they live in Livingston County and they're just under the radar. They're super busy. It's a single mom with one kid, and she's so busy, burning herself with work to be able to afford their lives together that she doesn't have time for huge groups of friends and to have all those people that can make a big difference when tragedy strikes.
Yeah,
and so, a lot of our stories, I think, are similar tragedy moments that happen that, kids and families, will raise tons of money for. And we're there to just try and be their guiding light. We're there trying to be their support mechanism just as one organization rather than, maybe thousands of people. And so I think that's important to highlight because I think people maybe ask like, well, what's the difference between like your foundation and like a GoFundMe or what have you? And it's like, well, we're there for the people that don't have any other means to go after. Right.
GoFundMe doesn't have a mission.
Yeah. It's just like, I can start a GoFundMe right now because it's like, hey, our last episode, I was talking about being a firefighter. I want to be a firefighter. Fund the Mark Be a Firefighter Fund,
Deposit, right.
And you can start it literally for any purpose at all. And obviously some of them just have, a bigger following, but, some recent ones, one that's really, really speaks to me, because it hits home in many, many ways, is there's a woman who's a local nurse at the Trinity, Health Center in Brighton. And she does part-time work at U of M also. And she works in oncology. So she's there caring for, people in their darkest moments day in and day out. She's a single mom, raising her child by herself, father's not in the picture. And, we knew her from our school. And then they've since, taken some other routes in schooling just for affordability. And, she was recently just diagnosed with, well, actually, they're still seeking out answers with what it was, but she was tiny, awesome woman. And all of a sudden she just started rapidly losing weight and she couldn't hold any food down. And then she was hospitalized because she was losing so much weight and she's down to like 80 pounds now. And she's just tiny.
Yep.
And single mom, now unable to work physically. And she was able to get into Cleveland Clinic after all of the places around here weren't able to, figure out what's going on. And she was there for 15 days. And they still couldn't really figure out what was going on. And her insurance was shut off. All this other stuff was shut off. She can't work, so she's not getting paid. It's going to take like 6 months for different stuff to kick in. And so she's making now like basically unemployment.
Is her insurance shut off because they couldn't figure out what was wrong with her?
Yeah, they don't know, like, they don't have like the codes and stuff to like bill it under. And so everything right now is basically just falling on her responsibility, like out of pocket, because they can't bill it under anything. And so it's just like these are all the weird little stories where you don't even know that stuff like this exists until you go through it. And you're like, what the hell, man? Like, I have these things to protect me in these moments. And then when they don't, you're like, WTF? Like, I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense.
I've been through that.
Yeah. Before. And sometimes it just happens. Right. And you're just like, and so she's shell shocked. She doesn't know how she's managing all of these things. And, so we're awarding her a $10,000 grant, and that's not going to fix all of her problems. But I can tell you right now, like the burden that she is faced with her own mortality potential, being a single mom, trying to raise her kid, trying to work, trying to pay all the other house bills that aren't being paused just because she's sick. Like those all exist.
Right.
And, the hospital bills continue to pile in. She is just beginning her journey back to health. Whatever that's going to look like, it looks like it's going to be quite the journey. And so even if she's able to fix all of those things in the next few months, like all of this stuff is still there. So a $10,000 grant is not going to make all of her problems go away, but I can damn well guarantee it's going to make the load way lighter in the meantime. And that's the entire goal. And so what's really cool, a full circle moment, is she's also a nurse who has been caring for my dad throughout his cancer journey. And so like, it just like when stars align like that, like I just got goosebumps. Like it's just, it's what life is all about. Yeah, like we're all just here helping each other. And it's just like, what a cool opportunity to be able to pay it full circle for somebody who does so much for other people. And, when my dad heard that news, even, he was just like he was in tears of joy. He's like, that's like the coolest thing ever. Cause she's such a good human. And so like, that's like a really powerful one that really hits so close to home, recently, because it's just, in so many ways it hits us. But, we have a lot of local kids that we've impacted over the years. Like kids always, those stories, they resonate with everybody. I don't care who you are, and it's like the Bridson family. Mom is a teacher at Spencer. Little girl's 4. and just going through now her second bout of cancer. Like I can't imagine having a 4-year-old girl. And so being a young family, mom and dad both have elected to take indefinitely time off work, regardless of what that means financially for their family, because they don't know what the future holds. And they want to spend every waking minute with their daughter, making sure that she has the care that she needs. And also she's wildly immunocompromised because it's some form of leukemia. So they're going through all of the routes of bone marrow transplants and other things. And that, for those that might not know, it riddles, like your immune system is just, is really compromised. And so rather than risking that on a daily basis, they just said like, hey, like we're just going to lock it down. And so, with that, no income's coming in, bills are on top of, again, just all the house bills, your cars, your everything else in life. Like that doesn't stop. And I think that's something we all forget about. Like, well, why can't you do this? Why can't you do that? Well, a lot of families do. They do everything responsibly. It doesn't mean that everything else just stops. And they say, the mortgage company doesn't say, we understand, and we're just going to stop billing you now.
Well, even more
here's a
so,
free house.
Yeah, and everything's much more expensive nowadays, anyways. I mean, even food, cars. So even if you were set up to maybe buy your house in 2000, post, or pre-pandemic, like, okay, great, maybe your expenses are lower, but that's not the reality for everybody. Yeah,
and you definitely know that more than most.
I deal with that on a daily basis. People are like, I can't afford much more.
Yeah.
Right. And then to think about, having this happen, and then like you stop, and then the pressure of, because most people are buying where it's like, we're basically at a whatever's coming in is going out.
Yeah. Right.
Like that's how most Americans go. Like you miss a paycheck. And that's what I was thinking about the whole entire time of the single mom, who's dealing with this, is like, you stop working, you miss one paycheck, you're immediately behind.
Right.
You're immediately behind. All right. So now the pressure and the stress of all that is instantaneous. You don't even have time to process.
Right.
All right. Like, okay, great. Like got some reserves. No, like if I don't work, and now that's the cycle, like you're stressed out, you're pushing yourself at work. This might have been something that you were dealing with for a while, and it just went under the radar because you didn't want to go get checked on, right? Take the time off work because you just can't.
Right.
All right.
And I think about how like stressful just life is in general, just navigating so many different balls in the air, and I know you can appreciate this, having your hands in different things and, outwardly being involved in so many things. And a lot of it's obviously a choice. It's all a choice, but you're actively, like a lot of things that I'm involved with are actively like giving of my time in a lot of different areas. And I can't imagine, and like it can be very overwhelming and very stressful because time is just, it's so slim now, even day to day. And it's like, so I'm spending all this time in so many different areas, yet life is so blessed and our family is overall healthy. Our kids are doing great. My wife is awesome, and all those things are great. And it's like, and this is just like, life is stressful with all the planned stuff. And then I can't imagine adding in, oh, now one of your children are diagnosed with a life-threatening fill in the blank, and like all that other stuff no longer matters, but it's still there. Yeah. It's still there. And you're still navigating on a daily basis. So it's like, now the stress is overwhelming, to a whole nother level. And to have an organization or a person come behind you and be like, hey, like we see you, like we see the pressure you're under. We see everything that you're doing and everything else. And here is a gift of hope to get you through this time, to lighten that load. That power is just amazing. And it's so, that power can be the difference between someone making it and not making it, just because of the mental switch that can happen in that moment and the compassion that is shared in that moment. And to be on the receiving end of that, and I know what that's like, it's life-changing. It changes your perspective, your attitude towards people, towards things, towards events. It can allow you the opportunity, if you so choose, to look at even life's biggest obstacles as its biggest opportunity or a blessing. And, the gift that something like that can be in someone else's life, it can literally propel their life on a whole different trajectory than ever before. And it's like, that's so powerful. And I've said that numerous different ways and numerous different times, but it's like, I could say it till I'm blue in the face, but it's just, it's reality.
until that clicks for somebody, like it's a state of mind,
Yeah.
right? You have to really believe that because you and I share this, and I know we've talked about it before, and we just get so annoyed with like people that are just negative,
Yeah.
right? People that are just negative about.
It's exhausting. It's exhausting.
It is seriously exhausting, and I don't know how people go through lives, their lives complaining or like just have the sense of entitlement and think like everything. Oh, you shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that. It's like, what are we talking about here?
Look at the page most recently with one of my little inspiring quotes that I like to share, every now and then.
Oh yeah,
And there was like one or two people who wanted to be negative, and then the positive people, came by the wayside. It's just like, and there's just literally, it's like people just, there's no even need to even share your crappy perspective.
Yeah,
yet I'm going to do it because I'm going to go poo. I'm going to be the poo parade. And here we go. It's like, what's wrong with you?
I don't get it because most people, and I think it comes from a place of kind of the opposite is they don't have anything to look forward to. They don't have anything, that's really positive going on in their life. And they're just kind of skating by, right? They're going to work. They're coming home. They're doing no more, no less. Right. But, for someone like you you wake up every day and think, how can I make a positive impact in the world? You're getting after it, going and raising money. You're coaching soccer. You're going to your kids' events, right? Like the reality is, you don't have time to let negativity creep in and slow you down. And that's really the frame of mind, which is the whole premise of this is everybody's going through shit, right? Everybody's
100%
through stuff on day in and day out, right? And if we all just stop and kind of smile at one another and say, hey, look, life is hard. Life is going to be difficult, whether we like it or not, but you get to choose your hard. You can either choose to be negative or you can choose to have a positive outlook on things. And guess what? That negativity going on over there, I don't have to comment on anything. I don't have to go run over to it and try to make it better.
Yeah.
I can just spread my positivity in a different way. Right. Try to help as many people as I can live a fulfilled life. And that's ultimately why you don't see a lot of people who are, doing that really tell the negative people like, hey, you shouldn't say that, or like, be quiet, dude. It's nonsense because they don't have time for it.
Yeah.
They don't,
100%.
They're not slowing down to
not giving it any oxygen.
Yeah.
Just like, that person's a waste of time.
It is a waste of time.
Yeah.
It is a complete waste of time.
Yeah. And that's what, it just blows me away that, you said it perfectly. Like, life is hard. Life is hard on everyone, and different seasons are super, super hard. Like I think of a recent grant recipient. We had a really hard day a couple weeks ago, and not that any day afterwards isn't, but like we had a really heavy day where one of our grant recipients that we've helped multiple times now, Charlie Gatewood. She's a little girl. She's almost 3. She has spent most of her young life in the hospital. She is home on occasion and getting 24-hour nursing care, and she's going to be like that for the duration of her life, however long that is. We never thought she'd even make it home from the hospital, and here she is, almost 3. And they, Gary and Katie Gatewood, mom and dad, have 3 kids together. Charlie is the middle one, so they have older and younger. And Charlie was admitted in the hospital for a couple days, and it was looking a little high risk. Dad, Gary, went out one morning to go hunting, just to kind of clear his mind, accidentally shot himself in the leg. And by the time 911 got there, he was pronounced dead. And like, it hit us so hard. Cause like, here's this family that's already dealing with so much. And then unspeakingly like loses, the husband and father. And it's like, I can't explain that. No, and no one can, right? And it's like, and I know that, like, obviously that family's going to be angry, right? They're going to be angry. They might even be angry with God. They're going to be angry with all sorts of people and entities and everything else. And rightfully so, because it doesn't make any sense. But at the end of the day, like, I guarantee, knowing who those people are, they're going to find a way back to trying to live a most fulfilled life and count their blessings instead, because they're going to choose to. Even through all the hard, they're going to look at, okay, look, we're still blessed in all of these other ways. And now maybe Gary's looking down on us and taking care of us from afar. And although we'll never be able to explain that hardship, we're gonna choose to count our blessings and not focus on, you know, the woe is me negativity, because life is hard and things unexplainably bad happen to good people at the wrong times, and they happen every day, and they're accidents. Like, that's part of why an accident is what it is. And it doesn't give you then permission to just be a dick the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Just because life was hard.
Nobody's going to feel sorry for you. All right.
Yeah.
They might feel sorry for you for the first, month,
Yeah.
2 months. Like, hey, give Johnny a break. His mom just died, his dad just died, or, had some stuff happen. But, come a certain point, everyone's gonna be looking like, okay, I understand this kid needs help. It's more of a mental issue now that you're not, kind of overcoming what had happened. You're not processing, you're not grieving, you're not doing the things that need to be done to live your life now.
Right.
All right. So, I mean, there's always that excuse. All right. That's the difficult part, is like, you want to feel bad and you want to help people, but at some point, you have to help yourself.
The old cliche of life is, 10% what happens to you and 90% how you respond to it is 100% true in every aspect of life. And it's just because things happen on a daily basis all the time. And it's just how you react to it. It's how you choose to react to it. And that's what defines you. That's what defines your character. It reveals your character. And the people who have the ability to train themselves to intentionally react positively in life's deepest, darkest, craziest shit, change people's lives. They change the world.
One person at a time.
Yeah.
Well, you get to choose to do something else too. And you can choose to donate to a great cause, and that's, I've kind of made it my unspoken mission here of like this podcast of really always kind of coming back to Fun to Life. And the closer I get, to Mark, he's been a great friend. The more I just want to help, right? The more I just, whether it's social media, whether it's, promoting an event, whether it's doing anything. Like, I texted him the morning of the golf outing, which I'm sure gets like 100 text messages like, hey dude, if you need anything going on, like, just let me know. He's like, no, just show up. We got it. But like, I know the pressure that goes through with something like this. And it can't be easy.
Sure.
It can't be easy, but you've made it your life's mission, and we want to invite you to be part of that. Right. And you can make a difference. Multiple ways to help Fun to Life. You can get on their monthly donations. They have a lot of different options, even $15, right? $15 will help Mark and his team figure out what's going on the following month, the next month after that, and really plan for the future, so they know they have a sustainable revenue coming in to grant all the recipients all the rewards every single year. So as little as $15 can change lives. But if you can do more, get out the checkbook and donate $1,500, $15,000, right? 1.5 million, right? So we got a mission, right? And this is our community mission, which is so great, that we're able to look at the community and know that the money being raised is going back to people in our community.
Right.
So as a community, we have a mission of how much in the next, it was 18 months. Now it's
probably
like 15 months.
Probably 15 months. Yeah. We want to donate $1 million in the next, now almost year and a half. But, we did $1 million in the first 7 years, and that was spectacular. Right. And we wouldn't have, obviously we did that because of the generosity and support of the community. There's so many more people to help, and we want to just continue to multiply and exponentially increase the level of impact that we have. And so, it was our goal. I just kind of spoke it into existence, and come hell or high water, we're going to freaking manifest it. We're going to find that $1 million somehow. And
just like Pizza Royale manifested.
Yeah, right. But I mean, there's people who are capable of writing. I mean, let's just be real. Like, there's people that are out there, maybe even watching this podcast, that are part of Brighton, Michigan Happiness Group. They're capable of writing a $1 million check right now, to Fun to Life, to impact other people. And no, that won't go out the door tomorrow. Right? It's not like we have that big of a need, but the need is there over the course of the next year to do well over $1 million worth of impact into people's lives. And so why not proactively give? Let's just do that. Let's rock and roll.
Yeah. And I think the more stories that can get out there, like, my story of why I was, when we met, I was so, drawn to the mission. Right. And that's really the megaphone, that Mark needs. So if you know somebody who, has been impacted, or maybe this just touches their heart and this is a passion, of them, share this episode, share the clips that you might see from this, share fundolife.org. with them and let them know about this organization. If they're able to help, it'll make a big impact, in a lot of people's lives. I know as a kid, having that opportunity, just having that hope is really what kept me going, because I was mad. I was super mad for a long time.
And you should have been, right? I mean, how can you not be?
Yeah. It was tough, so, well, I think that's it, man. Like we just ask for your help, ask for, you to donate. And if you do like this episode and you're liking what we're putting down on the What's Up Brighton podcast here, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up so YouTube knows we're doing a good job, and come back next week for the next episode.